Good day everyone! So today what I'm going to discuss is all about how did snorkeling begin. So by the way, I am Jeffrey Ticoloso II. So first and foremost guys, I just want to say sorry kung naay mga unnecessary noise nga madungog ninyo diri sa video. Example sa tingog sa manok or other unnecessary noise kay basin. O, di ba? Hindi naman ako yung may hawak ng buhay nila at baka sila pang may hawak ng buhay ko. So, I'm sorry guys, daan-daan. So, let's start about our discussion. Okay, so first what I'm going to show you is all about the timeline outlines of the events that leads to modern day snorkeling according to aquaviews.com on 2010. Okay, so in 3000 BC, the hollow reed was made. In 900 BC, animal skins were filled with air. In 300 BC, diving bell was made. And on 1300s, ay goggle from shells of tortoise na ang ilahang ginagamit. In 1400s, the hollowed tube and sketch of webbed swimming gloves. In 1717, it is the wooden paddles. And lastly, which is on May 1912, the modern fins. Okay, so first is all about hollow reed, which was made on 3000 BC. Okay, so in case guys, mo kabalong sa itsura sa hollow reed, kana bitaw na sa babaaning bayi, mao na siyang hollow reed guys. Like mo bitaw nag-tube pabot sa taas to the surface of air aron makahinga sila. So this is the other picture guys. Kaning cartoon character guys, example. Kay kana bitaw na sa baba niya, mao na siya ang hollow reed. Mo bitaw siya tube guys na padulong sa surface sa taas aron makahinga sila. And another picture is the hollow reed itself. So muna siyang itsura sa hollow reed guys. Imagine na lang guys ang stick O. Inana yung itsura guys. Mabitaw siya kawayan, then kunyari, mabitaw paana kawayan, then pasaka sa surface sa air aron makahinga sila sa ilalom. Okay, skin divers of the island Crete in the Mediterranean. So this is the island Crete. Kana siya guys. Makita siya sa Greece. Used hollow reeds to breathe while submerged in waters as they collected sponges. So, muna siyang tsura sa sponges in case so mo kabalo. By the way, kanang picture nga naa sa likod, kanang tao dahil nasa likod rather, sa sponge, kay dili na siya snorkeler. Kana siya kay diver na ang tawag ana. So, scuba diver. So, dili na siya snorkeler. Okay, nganong di man na siya snorkeler, nganong diver man na siya, may bala na ninyo sa report sa other na akong groupmate. Okay? So, thousands of years ago, ancient sponge farmer used a hollow reed to breathe through while swimming over water and diving down. So, in case guys, mga tanong mo nga si Muglang tao diri sa ubos, na diri ang ako ang notes to support ang usa akong gina-present diri sa screen. So, other than that guys, diba sa una kay naman yung mga away-away majud guro. So, muna ginagamit nila kanang hollow reed to hide under the water aron dili ta masakpan sa mga kontra. Okay, muna tag hiding spot. Okay, using hollow reed makahinga gyapon sila while hiding under the water. Okay, next. Animal skins were filled with air which was made on 900 BC. An ancient bas-relief dating 900 BC depicted divers in Assyria using animal skins filled with air to lengthen their stay underwater. So, sa nakita niyo siya sa ancient bas-relief na nag-date 900 BC. So, na-depict nila nga ang divers ato sa panahon sa Assyria kay nagamit sila og animal skins nga ginapunan og hangin. Then, to lengthen their stay underwater. So, mo ito ginagamit nila to breathe underwater. So, example kay kanil. So, this is the best thing na nakita na ko sa internet. Kay wala dyan lang example sa animal skin filled with air. So, muna siya guys. Panitan nila usa ka hayop. Dayon, katuloy ang skin niya guys, mo ito sudan siya hangin. Okay, so sudan na siya hangin. After sudan ng hangin, muna gamiton nila to stay underwater. So, they're going to breathe mo ito sa oxygen tank, inanang pulos sa animal skin filled with air. Aron maka inhale sila ay makastay gabos sila sa underwater for longer time. So, Australian divers in NLBC use animal skins filled with air as makeshift oxygen tanks. So, guys, makeshift oxygen tanks. So, it's like other use as other equipment or unsay gamiton nga aside sa oxygen tank. So earlier than that, sponge farmers use hollow reeds to breathe when underwater. Okay, so sa una kay di ba hollow reed, karon ning evolved na siya in 900 BC into animal skin filled with their aron, di ba maka ato po sa mas lalom nga area kay na naman tay air nga dala-dala padulong dadto. Okay, next is the diving bells. Okay, so diving bells was made on 300 BC. Okay, Alexander the Great, in case you didn't know, this is how Alexander the Great looks like. So, mura siya warrior, di ba, dali guys sa picture? So, Alexander the Great encouraged the development of the first diving bell, which was a cauldron designed to trap a pocket of air when it was lowered into the water. So, muna siyang itsura sa, guys, sa diving bell. O, di ba, shaped siya like a bell. Okay? So, this instrument allowed divers to take breaths while needing to go all the way up to the surface to gulp air, but it also limited their mobility. On one of the writings of Aristotle, he mentioned divers using a tube connected to the surface to the snorkel, remarking that it worked like the trunk of the elephant. Okay, so muna siya ang diving bells guys. So naa sa sulod ang nga bell ang mga tao. Di ba kanang nga bell nga ship guys. Now dira sulod ang mga tao. Nakita man gulo niyo sa picture na sulod ang mga tao. Dayon ilublob na siya into the water. Dayon unsaon na pag-breathe og air na siya tube guys. Pasaka into the surface. Pasaka into the surface aron maka-breathe og air. O, di ba? The trunk of the elephant. So, it worked like the trunk of elephant. Di ba ang trunk of elephant kay ang elephant, inig mo drink sila og water. Di ba? Ipadulong sa sulod sa water. Then, nasa taas siya po sa di mas mudoko. Okay, ang nose lang mo adjust nila. So, inahanap po ang word sa diving bells, guys. Nasa taas lang air, then magkanaog ng bell, then mo breathe sila sa surface ng air. So, this type of diving bell was overseen by Alexander the Great. His new invention contained actual air bubbles for divers to inhale. So, mura siya, guys, air bubbles nga naa sa ilalom sa sea. A diving bell is a rigid chamber used to transport divers from the surface to depth and back in open water, usually for the purpose of performing underwater work. Okay, so muna siya ang iyahang purpose guys, usually for the purpose of performing underwater work. Okay, so next na to kay ang eye goggle from shells of tortoise on 1300s. So the shell of the tortoise, for example, this is the shell of the tortoise, was used to develop a gadget to protect the eye as well as to see more clearly in water. The shell was sliced very thinly, became translucent, then polished for vision clarity. It was then used by the Persian divers. So, okay guys, muna siyang actually guys, what you ko yung nakita nga eye goggle from shell of tortoise sa internet. I don't know nga naman, but I think dili pud siya in ani ang itsura. This is nakita na ako sa other presentations. So mo ni ang gibutang niya nga picture, but I think dili man ni mao ang eye goggle kay because ang naka-describe dire kay ang shell sa turtle katong picture ganiha kay maglisunaw ba matabunan sa camera kay ipanitsong bitaw siya guys, like mura sa mo gamit og something material aron mo nipis jud tong top sa shell sa turtle. Very nipis aron pag mahimo na siyang clear, like how the glass works. Nato kanipis. Ipalis sila into nato kanipis aron makita sila very clearly under the water. So It was then used by the Persian divers. Many swimmers wear goggles to protect their eyes and help them see better underwater. Using protective covering on the eyes while swimming has been traced back to the 14th century. So, kaning paggamit lang sa protective covering sa eye, guys, kay na trace back lang siya into the 14th century, which is here 1300s. Persians used to polish tortoise shells and used them as goggles when they went diving for pearls. Goggles today are much more advanced and can even provide information like heartbeat and GPS. So, di ba, compared sa eye goggles before and now, so karon pwede pa niya matrace ang heartbeat o GPS. Well, sa una, ang purpose yun niya into the dive underwater to see clearly. Ang main niya purpose for the Persian is to get pearls underwater. Okay? So, next na to is the hollow tube and sketch of web swimming gloves on 1400s. So, Leonardo da Vinci, so this is Leonardo da Vinci, guys, that's Leonardo da Vinci, proposed and created the first contemporary snorkel. A hollow tube design attached to the leather head helmet of the diver, allowing to breathe even when face was submerged underwater. He also had a sketch of wet swimming gloves, an idea that led to the modern day fins. So, muna siyang itsura sa hollow tube, okay? Ang kaning naa sa ubos, guys, mauna siya ang mask. Kaning naa sa bottom nga part sa kaning nga murag letter. Muna siya ang mask sa diver. Then nakakonect na siya into sa taas sa surface sa water. Therefore, kaning nasa taas, guys, kay naglutaw-lutaw siya sa water as what you can see in the left part of the picture. Okay? So, this is how it looks like when suot na sa diver. It's so scary, guys, diba? Muratag naa sa horror nga film, igsuoto na siya. Well, imagine yung kaning niya, guys, kanang helmet made of leather. Then nakakonect dahil na ang hose into the surface, katong murag katong ginatawag nila nga, okay, steel ring ang tawag ato nila, guys, to breathe sa air rather. Okay, I'm sorry. So Leonardo's design for an underwater breathing apparatus consists of cane tubes joined by leather with steel rings to prevent them being crushed by the water pressure. The tubes are attached to a face mask, and at the other end at the other end to a bell-shaped float to keep the openings above water. Okay? So, di ba na ito yung shape nga bell katong picture ganiha? Okay. Yeah, there. The bell shape nga nasa surface to float, keep opening above water. Open na siya, guys. Open to breathe the air para sa diver nga sa ilalon. So, it's still rings. Purpose po niya kay to prevent the snorkeler from the water pressure. Kaya na kung too much water pressure ang nasa atong lawas, we're dead. Okay, so this is the sketch of web swimming gloves. So muna ang sketch ni Leonardo da Vinci. So a diving suit based on this design using pig leather, bamboo tubes, and a cork float was built and tested by a diver, Jackie Corzens. It worked well in shallow waters. So muna siya ang other informations about atong hollow tube. Okay, so this is the sketch of web swimming gloves. So, if tinuod man guro ang shokoy, so di ba murag inani to gina-portray nila sa mga salida inana ang sa shokoy. Murag na ay mga kanang inana kanana sa picture, nasa between sa fingers. Dayon, mura po siya guys, no, kanapit ang ikog sa isda. Mura siya ginana. Then, daliri lang to iya hamburag and. So, muna siya ang sketch sa webbed swimming gloves by Leonardo da Vinci itself. So, our purpose ani kay to swim faster underwater. O, di ba, Brad? Kasi Leonardo da Vinci, sana all. Okay, Next is the wooden paddles in 1717, which is the second I rather gihimo before sa what we're using now. Okay? So wooden paddles. So Benjamin Franklin, this is Benjamin Franklin, came up with an idea of using wooden paddles attached to the hands and feet to help swimmers swim faster. Okay. So yeah, that's how it looks like. Okay, these fins were originally wooden, shaped like lily pads, and were worn on your hand at a length of 10 inches and a width of 6 inches. They certainly help people swim faster. So, para sa panghihimo ni Leonardo da Vinci ganiha. Okay, so this is how wooden paddles look like closer. So it looks like a lily pad. So in case mo kabalog lily pad, na siya sa Plan vs. Zombies or katong galutaw-lutaw bitaw nga murag dahon sa river, Pasig River or other rivers. An avid swimmer, Franklin was just 11 years old when he invented this. Two oval pieces of wood that were grasped in the hands provided extra thrust through the water. He also tried out fins for his feet, but they weren't as effective. He wrote about his childhood invention in an essay entitled On the Art of Swimming. Okay, so actually ginagamit rin siya sa kamot. Sa kamot rin siya to help the swimmer swim faster. Pero sa una gitryan po ni Franklin, gamiton po niya siya sa TL, but it not work. Okay? So it is not effective. So this is what Franklin said on the essay niya nga on the art of swimming titled. Okay, when I was a boy, I made two oval pallets. So it's shaped like a pallet. Guys, sa kami tong sa mga painter, mga artist, kailan mo guro ng palette no kanang ginabot niya ng mga paint bitaw aron dili na sila maglisod-lisod og makuha sa paint dato na nibutan na sa palette, each about 10 inches long and 6 broad, with a hole for the thumb in order to retain it fast in the palm of my hand. They much resembled a painter's palette. In swimming, I pushed the edges of these forward and I struck the water with their flat surfaces as I drew them back. I remember I swam faster by means of these pallets, but they fatigued my wrist. Okay, so ang nasabtan nato dito kay kaning pallets ay kaning wooden paddles kay it looks like two pallets, which is the artist pallets. So nana siya buslot dira guys aron masudlan sa thumb. I don't know if naay buslot ana sa picture, pero naadyo na siya buslot para sudlan sa thumb. So napansin niya nga it help him to dive faster or swim faster than the others. Pero ang consequence kay dali na kayo siya maka-fatigue sa wrist. Okay, so muna siya yung consequence sa wooden paddles. Di ba kay kahoy manggod siya guys? Wooden paddles, kahoy ang gamit. Therefore, bugat guro kay na dyan na siya, then you know makapaspas yun siya pero maka-fatigue after few more minutes. Okay, or after a long time using it. Okay, lastly is the modern fins, which was made on 1912 up to these days. So, modern fins were invented by yours truly, Frenchman Louis de Carlieu, not me, okay? So, patent for this was obtained in 1933. So, that is Louis de Carlieu, okay? So, however, Louis de Carlieu in France and Owen Churchill in the United States. So this Louis de Carlieu is from France, but on the module it was only gimension kay si Louis de Carlieu, while on the internet as I searched naapay usa ka book ni tabang ani, which is si Mr. Owen Churchill sa United States, working independently of each other, were the first to make swim fins a practical reality. Louis de Collier was the first to patent swim fins in France in 1933. So siya first nga nakapatent aning swift fins which were using up to this days in France in 1933. Churchill too patented his design, which was said to have been inspired by a group of natives in Tahiti who he noticed on the beach weaving small mats from palm fronds and dipping them into a tub of hot tar. When the tar had cooled and hardened, they would tie these mats to their feet and enter the ocean to swim or free dive. Fascinated by what he had seen, he returned to the States and immediately began developing and patenting the first rubber swim fins in the US. The first basic fins look like this, as what you can see in the picture. So that is the first basic fins na nahimo ni Owen Churchill. So this was inspired by the Tahiti, ang mga nagpuyo sa Tahiti. So mo din siya guys, actually. Dili ka na siya guys. This other picture kay kato siya modern na kayo. Mo ni siya, mao na ang nakitaan. Mo na ang nahimo ni Owen Churchill rather. Okay, so swim fins patent model 1940. While 1912 ang nakabutang sa modern fins dera actually ang pasabuti ani guys sa basing galibog-libog na mo, modern fins was used and was made on 1912, pero na patent siya ni Louis de Collier on 1933 while kani kay Owen Churchill kay on 1940. So for clarification in case galibog mo kung yun sana pa explain. Okay, so that is all for now because I shall return. Okay? So, this is from someone famous. Kabalo na ko, kabalo mo kinsan ng gaingon anang I shall return. So, I'll be back later on, guys. Bye!